Hey guys, how's it going, and welcome back to the channel. Well, as you saw from that time lapse, we have everything tore apart on the back end of the W150. We're going to try and finish up this this rough country 3-inch, 4-inch lift, 3-inch lift. It's 4-inch up front, 3 inches in the back. Like I said, we have everything tore apart. When you do lower your axle down, make sure and put something underneath your drive shaft to prop it. Otherwise, when you lower it down, it is going to want to tip forward like that. And if you keep something up there, you can adjust the pitch and the angle and help you out. As you can see, we have narrow to fat, so that tells you and gives you a good indication on how those blocks are going to sit in there. This is one of the things I talked about in the beginning, in the very first video when I showed you what lift we were going to do. You're going to have two different blocks in there. The four-wheel drives have a factory block. So Rough Country has designed their lift to either set on top or go underneath. Probably just going to set it right on top of the factory block and fill in the space in between here. My suggestion to Rough Country would be engineer this so you lose this factory block and you put one big spacer in there, one solid piece. Now when you're sandwiched everything together and you had your U-bolts in there, it can't move, but it would be just a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, and I think you would have a little bit more strength as far as, maybe I'm overthinking it, I don't know. They have engineers there. We all know that engineers get paid way too much to basically do nothing except for design. When it comes to the real world, yeah, they don't think about that portion. But anyway, that's a topic for another day. So like I said, we got everything lowered down, getting ready to put everything back together, and yeah, it is. I do have the lower brackets off and painted up. Those are ready to go back on. They do give you extra new longer U-bolts, and then these are the blocks that go in place. You can see they have that angle engineered into it. That allows you, or that allows to correct the pinion angle. That way everything stays the same. And then it also comes with the shocks, same shocks front and rear. So we're gonna go ahead and start putting everything back together and try and get this project buttoned up. All right, before I do anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and put the spacer blocks in there with your thicker side or your fat side to the back to correct the pinion angle. And I'm gonna go ahead, I've decided I'm going to go ahead and set these on top of the factory block. So these will only go on one way. They have a pin on the bottom, which will set in the factory block's pin or receiver. Push down just a little bit, get that put in place. And that's all there is to it. And make sure that you get your pin lined up inside there. I'll go ahead and set the passenger side in place, and then we'll take the jack and slowly jack it back up, and then I'll go ahead and get my U-bolts and my bottom brackets, which is also the shock bracket, put those in place and get everything tightened back up. everything is on and buttoned up. As you saw in the beginning there when I was doing this driver's side, I did have these brackets swapped around, wasn't thinking or paying attention to how I took them apart, and I have everything swapped around. So I had to take this bracket back off and move them side to side. So as you saw, I did tap things around as far as the 2 blocks and make sure all my pins are aligned from here to here, here to here, and then here to here. There is pins and holes that everything has to line up just right. So everything is tightened up. Gonna go ahead and get it setting on the tires and wheels and see, like, go forwards and backwards, or actually we should go for a drive to get the suspension to sag, but to see how it actually sits, if it sits level or 6 raked. All right, there she sits. Dust doesn't look too bad. It's sitting just a little bit raked to the ass end just because the way my driveway sloped towards the road just a little bit. But for the most part, it sits pretty level. One thing I did forget to do was measure from wheel well to the ground on front and rear before I took it apart. But yeah, it's not sitting just too bad. I'm going to do a full review, or not full review, but I'm going to do a, you want to call it a review video on this lift, an installation review. Let's call it that. I'm going to do an installation review on this lift because rough country, it says in the directions a skilled certified technician should take care of this or should do this installation, but let's face it, most of you guys are weekend warriors like myself or driveway mechanics like myself, and you want to do this yourself, and I think they need to do just a little bit better detailed instructions for the individual to take care of this. But yeah, it's sitting pretty good. Not sitting too bad at all. All right, this is part 3 of this lift installation. Ran into some issues as far as the front lift. One of them was easily resolvable. The other one, well, I'm gonna go over it like I said. I'm gonna do an installation review on this lift, and then we'll do a full review or full unveiling of truck with tires and wheels on it, because the tires and wheels are here, but I'm not gonna show those today. We'll show those a different day. I don't know. This lift was just okay. It's gonna serve its purpose. I think it's gonna be fine, but as far as an installation factor, it's a little bit more in depth, or you have to go a little bit more in depth. It doesn't go through things. So anyway, that's gonna do it for today. Again, not sitting just too bad. Till next time, guys, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not already done so, and we'll see you guys in the next one.